everyone. Today's video finds us over here in Ayutthaya, and we're going to take a look at a really cool temple that I've been to before, but it's been quite a while since I was over here last. We're going to take a look at this massive reclining Buddha at Wat Lokaya Sutha, I think is how you say it. Anyway, they just know it as the Temple of the Reclining Buddha. This is a humongous, like 38-meter long reclining Buddha that used to have a hall over the top of it, but that's long gone. And anyway, we're going to take a look at it and see the rest of this temple. Let's see what we see. This is the temple grounds itself. It's quite massive. Up there is a Khmer style Prang, and there used to be like 3 halls right in here. And then the reclining Buddha is right here. And then it had the outer wall, it had a moat, had all the normal stuff. The first thing I want to look at is kind of a cool little chetty right here. And what's interesting about this is it's just kind of stuck over here in the trees. But you can see it has the stucco work right there, and it has the standing Buddhas. And this at one time, they believe was a place for the people from the north, from the Lana kingdom, to come over. They would do stuff. This was built in the Lana style, but it's unrestored. You can see a couple of the images right there, and you can see some of the stucco work. And so this would have went up to the little prong, and this was, they believe, like inspired or built by the people from around Lampung, the Harawanacha kingdom. And you can see there's a couple little images up there. Yeah, this is really cool. I like the Lana style chetties for sure. Anyway, let's walk over here and let's see the reclining Buddha, and then we'll take a look at some of the stuff behind. Now the ruin itself was completely down to the base. They don't know when this temple was built. They believe it was early Ayutthaya. It's directly west of the old royal palace, and there used to be a canal that went right to the boundaries of this. And it was west of the royal palace, so they believe it was pretty important. I mean, the size of the temple grounds definitely shows its importance, plus this humongous reclining Buddha. And it's a popular place for people to come over and spend about 15-20 minutes or so. And the Thais come, they burn the incense and make their little prayers and stuff right there. But check this out right here. So what you see here, this is a reclining Buddha, and its hand is going upwards. So they believe that is in the late Ayutthaya styling. But this reclining Buddha itself was completely restored. It was just down to rubble. And they came in, and I think in 1956, and they restored it to what you see right here. So they built a whole new image over the top of the old one. And you can see this is the outer wall of the building that used to house it. And then you can see the little columns right there. So this would have been a wehan over the top of it. Yeah, it's really cool. Sometimes there'll be a robe over it. You can see the robe over there by its feet. But right now the robe is not up on it. There used to be some chetties here, and then right here is a little shrine. So the Thais will come here, and they'll stick the gold leaf on it, and they'll burn the joe sticks and do all the burn of the oil, stuff like that. It's a popular place for them. You can see the little flower things that they've left here also. You can see the columns right there. At one time there were 24 columns that supported the roof. And I say that this actually is 42 meters in length. I've read it was 38, and the sign here at the site says it's 42. And there used to be a bunch of little chetties, all of that. And then the canal would have been right over here, you can see in the trees. And there's some chetties. Oh, check out this little bell tower. Let's look at it right quick. Yeah, this is quite a nice little building right here. You can see the very top of the spire is gone. And then it has kind of the lotus-shaped arches. Yeah, this is really cool. And a little bit of the plaster is still down here on the base. Oh, this would have been fantastic to see. But it's just over here in the trees across the road from the reclining Buddha. You can see the feet of the Buddha. So all the toes are the same length, what you normally see with the Buddhas. And then you can see the back side here with all the columns, and this would have been the outer wall. And it would have had some steps coming down into it. Now it's just down to the base. Now let's look out here around this prong. And you can see the temple goes all the way out there. There's a couple little chetties, and then there's this Khmer style prong right here. And this looks like it would have been a humongous hall here also. You can see, oh, this would have been like the cloister. So this would have been the seated Buddhas, and then there would have been a couple chetties right here, and then up here would have been the ordination hall. You can see the Sema stones. Yeah, this would have been really, really cool. You can see the old sandstone Sema stones. And they did 2 rows of it. That's kind of the old way that they did it. You also see that like in Cambodia. You'll see these humongous stones and there'll be 2 rows. And this would have been a chetty. Looks like they just have a little bit of the top. Yeah, so that would have been a cloister going around. So they had all those seated Buddhas and stuff. And they say these are the early Ayutthaya styling. And this would have been a humongous hall. So you can see up here it's just down to the base. But there are some laterite stones here, so they must have robbed these from like a Khmer temple or something like that around here. You can see a little bit of the Buddha images that are made out of sandstone. And this would have been the base of where the Buddha was sitting. And there's a couple more pieces. And then there would have been the back porch right here. And then this would have been the center prong. That's Khmer styling. See a little bit of the trees and stuff growing up. You can see the little niches right there, so they would have had a Buddha image inside of it. And you can see how this would have been built. This would have been really, really cool to see. And this would have had a covered little porch on the outside. You can see here's some more of the laterite stones. And the prong itself is kind of sloughed off a little bit. You can see just a little bit of the styling up there. So they believe this was built around the time of Wat Mahathat, Wat Ratchaburana, and the styling is similar to Wat Ratchaburana, which that's what they say is early Ayutthaya. And this temple itself was used until the late Ayutthaya period, the fall of the capital. And there's a couple more little chetties over there, and then there was 3 halls right across here. And then you can see here, this is where the relic chamber would have been. So I guess this is 14 meters tall. I don't know, it looks taller than that to me. I read it was 30 meters, but the sign over here says it's 14 meters. You can see here all 3 of these halls. And you can see some more of the use of the laterite stones with the brickwork. This would have been the cloister that would have went around the prong. And then over there would have been the canal and some more ruins out in the trees. So there would have been 3 hands here. So this would have definitely been an important temple to justify this many of these buildings. You can see a little bit of the Buddha images here. And this would have been looking right at the prong, and then that huge hand over there with the reclining Buddha and that ordination hall. Oh yeah, this would have been just absolutely amazing here. So this would have been renovated many times over the life of it, and it would have been really cool right whenever the city of Ayutthaya fell. So there would have been a Buddha seated right there, and this would have been another hall. This is just down to the base. They would have had the columns inside there. And then you would have came in. Looks like there was a little room when you first came in right here, which is kind of not a common style. Usually this would have been like a little slanted porch, but it looks like the outer wall would have been to right here. Yeah, you would have came up the steps. This would have been a front little hall. There would have probably been like an image right there, and you would have went around to the left. There would have been a wall, and you would have went into the main part of that hall. And then this one here would have been just absolutely massive. So you can see here, this one would have had a slanted porch coming here. And there would have been 3 entrances and you looked over to the prong and the main image. And then this would have been the third Wihan or prayer hall. And it would have been built like that first one that we looked at over here on this side. But how cool is this that you can look over there, you can see that reclining Buddha, see the prong. Ah, yeah, this is really nice. Too bad that it's just down to the base right here. And the last thing we can see here are these two chetties. They're nice also. It has a little bit of the plaster work. Looks like the top is missing off of both of them. And then right over here in the trees, you can hear the bird, but this would have been the canal. Yeah, you can see the canal is in kind of rough shape now. But most of these canals in Ayutthaya have been filled in, but back in the day, there would have been boats all on this canal. And you would have been able to come right up here, get out, and then you would have crossed these two chetties and went into the temple grounds itself. You can just see how they had the indented corners. And you can see a little bit of the plasterwork. So there have been 4 images around there. And just a lot of plaster that's still remaining. And it's kind of sinking on this side. So hopefully this chetty doesn't eventually collapse. And then you can look back into the temple itself. So that's going to finish up our video over here at Wat Lokaya Sutha, the temple of the reclining Buddha. This is fantastic. This is a really nice ruin. It's right here in the historical park. It's free to come over here and walk around it. It's near some of the other big ruins. So if you're over here on this part of the island, then I would definitely recommend coming over here and stop and walk around here for 15-20 minutes or so and enjoy this. I really like seeing the reclining Buddhas, and this one is quite cool. It's just out here in the weather. A lot of them are in the buildings, so you can't see it as well. This one is open at the top, so you can see the whole image. So definitely worth coming over, taking a few pictures, and looking around, and then just kind of visualizing what this temple would have looked like when it was in use. Would have been fantastic. I really like seeing all this old stuff. As you can see from all my videos that I make in Ayutthaya, I've been here so many times, I'm kind of a local. Anyway, if you liked the video, make sure you smash like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, stick around, and you're notified when I post a new video. And if you have any comments about it, let me know what you think about this. If you've been here, or if you have any questions, ask me in a comment down below. And from over here in Ayutthaya, remember, life is a journey. Until next time, enjoy.